I've been trying to make this video every day of this week and I can't. My symptoms are getting really bad, but I couldn't not make it anymore. I have found my problem. I found the root cause after 9 years. 9 years of suffering. And this is gonna be just a short video that I kind of play some of the clips and how my symptoms finally have 100% match every single symptom with this condition. Let's start with this video.
Insufficiency can cause drop attacks, dizziness, impairments of the cranial nerves. It can cause terrible balance problems. Upper cervical instability also can obstruct cerebral spinal fluid flow, so the intracranial pressure can go up. There's lots of people who just constantly feel pressure in their head. If you're one of those, you probably have upper cervical instability and need prolotherapy.
That is huge. There was no explanation in the last 9 years that could even remotely even try to explain what he's talking about here, what I call head pressure, which all other doctors would correct me and say, headache, you mean headache. And I would say, not really. It's a pressure of swelling in my head all around. This was the first big sign.
The compression of the carotid sheath is going to start affecting the vagus nerve. Some of the signals of the vagus nerve are going to be blocked. Once you start blocking the signals in the vagus nerve, the stomach stops working. And when food just sits in the stomach, basically, you're going to get nauseated. You're going to get bloated and nauseated. When the vagus nerve doesn't have input, you have decreased stomach acid. That can give nausea. Cervical vagopathy can cause leaky gut syndrome because the vagus nerve, each vagus neuron connects with about 1,000 to 5,000 neurons in the enteric nervous system. There's hundreds of millions of enteric neurons. So every time you knock out a vagus neuron, you're basically knocking out up to 5,000 enteric neurons. And it's that nerve input into the digestive tract that keeps the tight junctions between the columnar cells together. Once you have an injury in the nervous system and the nerve impulses aren't going there, these tight junctions separate. Then all of a sudden, when you're eating food and it's getting to that place, the food particles and substances will get absorbed that really shouldn't be absorbed. So this is a really...
This is, if you've been watching my videos, one of my biggest issues out there. Basically from like last year, it got to a point where I only had 2 foods. That's salmon and sweet potato. In beginning of 2020, I could at least have some soup, like vegetable soup. I could have some fruits. And by the end of 2020, I couldn't have any fruit. Like if I eat 2 pieces of grape, not only do I get dizziness, vertigo, and all the usual symptoms, but also like massive bloatedness where it doesn't even make sense. Like it's sometimes even hard to breathe because my stomach gets so bloated. And this is in that line, what he's talking about here. I mean, this guy has a lot of videos. I just pointing out a few here.
But as far as our assessment, our overall assessment, we started asking them about gastrointestinal symptoms such as bloating, a very sensitive stomach, constipation, and diarrhea. Some of the people have Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, and they would have no idea that it's from their cervical instability. See, the vagus nerve, the cell bodies of the vagus nerve run right in front of C1. And the amount of neurons in the vagus nerve is about 100,000, and those 100,000 have to tell the 100 million neurons in the enteric nervous system what to do. So you can imagine if somebody has C1, C2 instability, and the vagus nerve input to the digestive tract is hampered, there's going to be a lot of enteric neurons in the digestive tract not working. Had a feeling of impending doom. They had some anxiety, some dizziness, some nausea. They had sensitivity to light and sound. Oh, they had sleep tremors, dysphagia, panic attacks. They felt like poison was running through their veins. They had excessive sweating about once a week. And then at nighttime they felt like they were choking, like their airway wasn't opening up. Yeah, so I mean, these are really, really severe symptoms.
Shortness of breath is a huge part. So these are all of my symptoms by date, and now I've been spending over the last week a lot of time just studying his work and going back and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And this is it. I mean, I finally found the root cause. It's not a I don't have a lung disease like I thought in 2014. I don't have an carpal tunnel or nerve damage only. It is nerve damage, but it's not from just the nerve itself out of nowhere like I thought in 2015, 16. And then I don't even have autoimmune disease anymore. I don't think I have, which I thought since 2020, because AIP worked very well, but that worked because my immune system, my gut is just toast. But it's not the cause. I don't have a genetic rare disease. It's not all the, and it's just not all the other things I thought it was. It is simply that I had a bike accident in 2012 and I broke a piece of my neck that happens to be very close to the brainstem. And it's pinching the nerves, particularly the vagus nerve, ever since then. And when this happens, people get worse and worse and worse. And that's it. This is the first video of many. And it's pretty much starting a whole new chapter now that I've found out what is wrong with me after 9 years.